Is BG wealth sharing a scam or legitimate? Now, if you're watching this, it's likely because someone you trusted showed you screenshots of profits. They told you BG wealth sharing is working, or even took you out for a meal and said the professor would pay the bill. Sound familiar? Before you go any further, you need to pause for a minute, because with BG wealth sharing, putting your money in is easy. That part is deliberately frictionless. Getting your money out is where everything changes. I can speak from experience because I've been helping people get their money out of the platform. Withdrawals are not straightforward. They are delayed, restricted, or even relabeled, wrapped in conditions that only appear after your money is already inside the system. You're told it's better to leave your funds where they are. That withdrawals comes with fees. You can withdraw your money, but you have to pay ridiculous fees. You might have even been told that your money needs to mature before you take the money out. That gas fees, handling fees, and trading requirements apply. By the time all those fees are added up, you're lucky to recover your original investment, let alone make any profit, which you were there for in the first place. And while you're being encouraged to wait, the real risk grows quietly in the background. Profits collapse, rules change, access disappears. Yes, you will lose access. As soon as you start squawking about taking your money off the platform, you'll get kicked out of that group that you need to log into 3 times a day. The moment you start asking questions about withdrawals, the tone shifts. You're discouraged. You're told you don't understand the system. Oh, you're a bit thick. I want my money out. Oh, you're a negative person. You're warned not to spread negativity. Yes, just what I said. I'm already getting ahead of my own speech. In many cases, people are removed from chat groups. Yes, Bond chat, WhatsApp group, or a Telegram group. But Bond chat's where it all happens. An app that is designed by the Chinese, and you're in there. Did you know that they can listen to your messages or your voice with that app? Yes. You're cut off from communications. That's why they know what you're thinking before you even talk to anybody, because they're listening to you. And suddenly lose your only lifeline that you had. People who told you it was safe are now disappearing. Okay, that isn't bad customer service. That is the design of what you're getting involved in when you're involved with BG wealth sharing, which has been renamed quite a few times, and I'm about to show you all the names and the history of the whole company here in one video. The people promoting this understand it exactly. They know how the money moves. They just don't want you moving your money, especially off the platform. I've seen this pattern play out again and again. Fees added, excuses invented, access cut. Victims blamed for asking the wrong questions. Don't ask any questions. You're not allowed to ask any questions. You just got to blindly believe. This is not a small operation. In fact, I believe this particular BG wealth sharing management is actually being manufactured out of the human trafficking compounds in Myanmar. And I've seen this. I've heard about it firsthand from people that have been there. This is actually one of the biggest scams I've ever investigated, not simply because of its size, but simply because of the speed. It is exhilarating and it's shocking. It didn't actually start yesterday. New Zealand has been used as a testing ground. If you don't know who I am, I'm Danny De Heck. I'm based in New Zealand, and I've got a list of people in my chat room right now. There's a link where you can go into a WhatsApp group, and I currently have 64 people who have gone in there, who have been involved in the first wave of this scam and lost everything. And I'm here to stop you from doing the same. I now have a growing list of people who've lost serious money and wish they've never listened to that person at the beginning, before hope replaced with common sense. So here's the real question you need to ask yourself. Do you want to keep doing what others have done and get the same results? You've heard that saying before. Or do you believe somehow that you are going to be the exception? In this video, I'm going to show you how this actually works, why people stay far longer than they should, and what happens when you try to exit quietly. If this feels uncomfortable, it's probably because this matters. Now, I've just spent the last 6 hours putting together a blog. And this blog is basically everything I know about this scam. I do know it quite well. I've even got a court case pending where somebody who was promoting this scam is actually trying to get their name off the website because they have realized that they have egg on their face and they're trying to get the content removed from my website, claiming defamation, when we've got overwhelming evidence of this being a ridiculous scam. And they had even quit their job and set up offices here in New Zealand to make this their new career. And in December, at Christmas time, everyone got rug pulled. Everyone lost access to the apps. In fact, the organisation behind it, which is BG Wealth Sharing, told everyone they had to pay an additional 20% to get their money off the platform. Some people did it, some people didn't. Everybody lost their money. And that's what this scam will do. This isn't trading. This is actually mathematics. Now, they work out the growth of this company is amazing. There's a lot of people stealing a lot of money, committing fraud. There's people promoting it who are taking the money off the platform. They are saying you don't know what you're talking about to people like me who research this, who do this for a living. But at the end of the day, it's mathematics. And there's no way that you will be at the bottom of the pyramid and make the money that the people at the top of the pyramid are making. You will get rug pulled. You will lose everything. Your money is trapped in the system. Getting your money out, you need to have a science degree, a rocket science degree to get your money out. We have actually helped people take their money off the platform in the past. Very difficult. One person put $3,000 in. They were promised, I think, $5,500 at the end of the month. By the time we got their money out, they actually were up on the deal by $150. But the fees and everything it cost to actually jump through all the hoops made them lose all the profits they were promised. And it's mathematics. You're not going to win by playing around on this scam. In fact, you're part of the problem if you think you can play with fire. Now, let me get into this blog. This blog will blow your mind. I've actually been to conferences in Australia and I've heard all about the human trafficking compounds. And I honestly know that this type of scam is the exact type of scam that these individuals promote to Westerners. And there's no such person as the professor. Now, you go out for dinner with some friends, you show them on the app that you're on the app or whatever you do. I don't exactly know how it works because I haven't invested in this platform at all. I'm not a bitter investor doing an expose video. I'm actually a person that's been featured in the New York Times, the Guardian newspaper, and even Bloomberg have done a small documentary about my work at exposing large-scale Ponzi schemes and scams. I do this for a full-time job, and I've actually been doing it for the last 5 years. This scam is not anything new. It's just new. They go after people who are vulnerable. You've got friends and family who are promoting it to you, and it's very hard to pull away from it and use common sense. So the purpose of this blog that I'm about to show you is to help you understand how these scams work, the dangers, and the way that they recruit people into it like you. So scams don't survive because somebody warned somebody. They survive because hope feels safer than evidence until it doesn't. People often assume scams succeed because information is hidden. The victims simply don't know that the warning signs weren't obvious until it was too late. BG Wealth Sharing breaks that assumption. In this case, the warnings are not blurred. They are public, documented, and issued by governments and regulators across multiple countries. Now, that's why I've got this blog out today. I woke up this morning and I thought I'm going to do another video about BG wealth management, because there are so many people out there searching for content. And one of my biggest videos I've done ever is the one on BG wealth sharing. So there's a need to warn people even more. I can tell by the stats of my last video. They exist on official websites, government websites, guys. They name the entities involved. They describe the risk clearly. And yet Zoom meetings are still happening. People are still being recruited. Friends and family are still encouraged to invest. So people are not heeding the warnings. What's wrong with people? This article is not written in hindsight. It is written while all of that is going on. So governments are warning about this particular scam. They're putting the name out there. They're rebranding itself. The domains have been stopped. They've been taken off the internet. People think, I've been told that people thought the FMA here in New Zealand don't like people making passive income. So they were trying to block people from making additional income. This is also a broader, I'm going to have to get some of this read every now and again.
The context that matters.
New Zealand has seen this pattern before. Now, the other scam that I did a lot of videos about was called CR Group LL, and it was called Unix. And they've now rebranded it to something to do with Ruby. It's the same scam, exactly the same. Private messaging apps, community-based recruitment, promises of trading profits, and eventually collapsed. So that was the same scam that we're looking at right now. Even the FMA has updated their warning to notify people that this previous scam that was marketed to New Zealanders, giving the same hope, has collapsed. The New Zealand Financial Markets Authority, what we call the FMA, later documented those behaviours publicly. What is confronting now is watching the same playbook reappear under a new name. So just imagine this. I'm based in New Zealand. I watch a whole lot of New Zealanders get scammed. One company, and I'll say it, it was called the Hilton Group, 7,000 staff around the world, and they have an organisation set here up in New Zealand. One individual in that company who was in charge of transportation recruited 60 people within the company. He told people they were silly if they didn't invest, and he got 60 people in that company. Now, that particular individual is now reprimanded by that company. Lisa, the lady behind it, she's gone after this individual who had a senior position, who had pressured 60 people just in one company to invest. And I've got some of those investors in my chat room and other organisations as well. They go after religious groups, they go after social groups, they go after sports groups, and they obviously go after any community they can get their hands on to promote. And this is how these get traction. So this article is for people who haven't lost everything yet. For those people who feel uneasy but keep holding on to the trust the process. So people are telling you, trust the process. I've done it. I've made money. See the screenshots. For those standing at the edge, telling themselves they'll be able to pull. So if you're standing on the edge of the cliff and you're thinking that you can pull out your next withdrawal, then you need to back off the cliff before the next decision is made. So the next discussion, I'm going to read this, sorry, it's been a long day.
Before that next decision is made, it's worth slowing things down and looking at what governments around the world are already saying.
So let me just spell this out in layman's term without reading it from my blog. You're told by a guy that's called the professor that could be 3 or 4 people rotating in a shift, all preaching to the same audience. And you're told that you need to log into this platform 2 or 3 times a day, cut and paste a piece of text and put it somewhere so that you are doing something for your money, like a hamster on a wheel, right? And because you're doing that, you deserve to make the unrealistic, too good to be true money from the app. If they have got some trading platform that's doing so remarkably well using the state-of-the-art everything, why do they need to do a manual transaction 2 or 3 times a day? That's not right, and that's the lie. But because you're doing something, you think you deserve something. So what exactly is BG Wealth Sharing claimed to be? Before going any further, it's important to be clear that BG Wealth sharing actually claims to be what it actually claims to be. Because this isn't the first time it has been examined. I've already documented BG wealth sharing, and it's linked to a platform called DJS Exchange. In a previous investigation, BG wealth sharing, I've mentioned it here in a previous. Now, if you are on my website, you can go to theheck.com, and if you like, there is another blog I did, another video I did previously. So you can go there and have a look at that to your heart's content. In that article, the mechanics were laid out in detail: fake leadership, fabricated certificates, illegal security offerings, and a classic click a button Ponzi structure dressed up in crypto trading. It's all those words that you want to hear. In simple terms, BG Wealth Sharing sells the idea that ordinary people can access guaranteed daily profits, often quoted as 1.3 to 2.6% per day, which is stupid. It's just unheard of. And especially when crypto has had its biggest loss recently of $380 billion they lost in a day by following supposed AI-powered trading signals inside a private platform that isn't connected to the real internet, by the way. Participants are told they do not need trading experience. Of course you don't. That risk has been engineered out of it. What a load of crap. And that the system can run indefinitely, which is also a load of crap. Otherwise, why do they need your money to run these trades for? Small deposits, visible daily returns, occasional withdrawals, and consistent encouragement to scale up create the illusion that trading is taking place. Wow. Then there is no transparency. There's no independent verifiable trading at all. Now, this was a video that I've actually managed to nab off Facebook, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. And in here, you can see that there's AI, and I can't really put sound on this video because it's got music in the background.
A system so simple, you just copy and paste.
A system that's so simple that you just copy and paste. How ridiculous is this?
6 to 8 weeks, with the freedom to withdraw anytime.
The freedom to withdraw anytime. Well, the only people that are withdrawing is the people that are recruiting you into it.
You instantly with 5%. Plus.
So this is too good to be true. You might think you're clever than the average bear, but if you want to, go watch that wee video I nabbed off the internet. So this isn't speculation. It's their own marketing, right? So if you watch that video, it is a promotional video circulated on Facebook. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. BG Wealth Sharing openly tells people that their system is so simple, you just have to cut and copy twice or 3 times a day with a new one, 7 days a week. So you're enslaved to this little wee thing on your phone, and that's how you deserve to get the profits they're claiming. You're going to get 1.3 to 2.6 daily profits if you just log into the platform 3 times a day and cut and paste a trade into what they normally call you an arbitrage trading platform, which is done in milliseconds, where they scoop profits off highs and lows of trading. And you really think by you cutting and pasting that text, you're making that happen? Wake up. That is so stupid. If there is any money to be scooped off highs and lows, it's done in milliseconds. You won't have time to log in, go to your platform and cut and paste and get those signals. They are just treating you like hamsters. They're treating you like mice, and you're going after it like a piece of cheese, and you don't realize you're going to get trapped. Right, while promising deposits with deposits will double every 6 to 8 weeks. How ridiculous is that? This with the freedom of withdrawals at any time. And we know that's not true because I've helped one individual through my Avengers get their money off the platform, and it was just like pulling teeth from a hen. Impossible. The same pitch claims backing from major global hedge funds. Oh my God. Mention hedge funds, we think of hundreds of millions of dollars. No such hedge funds, no proof of it. A 10-year partnership. Levels 1 to 12 with monthly income and commission for inviters, all while insisting recruitment is optional. When a scheme owns, I'm going to have to read this because it's late at night for me here.
When the scheme's own sales material combines manual busy work, guaranteed returns, fake institutional backing, and multi-level rewards, it's telling you exactly what it is.
Right, and the last
That
paragraph.
manufactured dream is what hooks people in. This article isn't here to reprove that BG wealth sharing is a scam. That groundwork has already been done. What matters now is something else entirely. Despite all of that evidence, governments around the world have since issued formal warnings, and people are still investing.
Yeah, so it's breathtaking, actually. Before I get into claims versus reality, I want to go through some things. I did actually manage to find a website today that was still active. Now, it's called tin22.com. And by the time you watch this video, if you watch it live, you can go right there now. This domain name will be shot off the internet. They will refire up another website and it will be under another domain name. Why is that happening? Use some good old-fashioned logic, people. It's because the governments are shutting down these domain names and they just keep going down. I can't shut down a domain name very quick. We did shut down one domain name that was running this scam under called signalraiders.com. And the Terminator, who works with our team of Avengers, shut down this website. Now, here's a new website I found today, which is still active, and you'll find it's exactly the same as all the other websites. They have all these certificates and claims. Now, these certificates are in like British Columbia, they're in Australia, and these are all fake certificates. So here's a certificate saying that they are licensed in Australia. In a few minutes, I will show you that Australia has put out a warning about this company, and there's no way that this company is trading in Australia. These are fake documents for people that are like, you will let the droid past. Remember Luke Skywalker when he was on the way to that bar in the desert in Star Wars, and the guy in the brown cape said to the droid guy that you will let the android pass, and he used his mind power. So these are for people who have that mind power to look at these old documents. But you can obviously see that this website's live. And it's just a cut and paste, drop in a whole lot of files, and away it goes again. So this is not a real company. These are not real government. Even if they are real, they're not trading in Australia. They are not absolutely established in Australia. There's no comeback. There is no Professor. There is no Anne. There is no Lisa. They are all people that are running this scam out of human trafficking compounds. I've got about 64 people at the moment that have all lost money to this scam, and they can't get their money out, and they obviously were told to invest 20%. So this is just a website. Now I'm going to put this website in the chat room for those people that are handy, but you can find this website by going to tin22.com. As I said, by the time you get there, it will probably be offline, but it's always a bit of a giggle. So that's a typical website that you'll see set up. Or, not even very professional, but what I really didn't like was this is I think this is Vietnam, but these are people that have taken friends out for lunch, and they're introducing people into BG Wealth, the other one was management, and this one's called, now they rebranded it again, it's called BG Wealth Sharing, and you can see what they're doing is they're holding up their phones and they're showing people that they're out for meal, and then the professor will credit their account, their Monopoly money account, for the price of the meal. But you can't take your money off the platform unless you have a rocket science degree. So you're just getting a credit on a fake platform, thinking that you're getting your meal paid for. So these photos are showing people, and this is how rampant it is. So this is a worldwide scam at the moment. Now, all these happy people, I can just about guarantee that 95% of these people haven't been able to get their money off the platform. They are looking at their phones thinking that they have something of value, but the reality is that getting your money out of the platform is very expensive, and you're encouraged to leave it there for 6 to 8 weeks so that you can get the profits. Why wouldn't you? But the reality of it is that this has grown so fast that even if the people behind the scam decide to rug pull everybody, they can still manage to pay some people who are promoting it and keep the illusion alive, and then all of a sudden it will be rug pulled. Also, there was another tab in that website, and these are all the videos of people who are pushing this down the throat of people.
great detail about that as well. Yes, right here. No, go ahead. What's your question? Oh, you don't have that? Oh.
So that was in English, which I was really excited about. Let's see if there's another one.
That's compound interest
Ooh.
that you are paying every day, especially if you don't pay interest. Okay. So you've been carrying that balance for about 5 years. On a $5,000 limit, you've already paid them $25,000. You're not making any sense. So again,
So these are all the people that are, these people that are recruiting, I'm no doubt are able to get money off the platform, and they don't care what happens to your money. But, I was just surprised because while I was preparing this blog, I obviously found this. I'm going to shut this down now so I don't get distracted, and we'll get back to the blog. But I was actually amazed how many photos I actually found on this particular website. And as I went down, it sort of shocked me, how many people have been out for dinner, how many people are holding up printed signs, and these sort of scams, this is not just because somebody may be able to profit from it. I can just about guarantee, that you will never make any money out of it. And it's pretty sad. Alrighty. I did find another video on here.
Lifelong benefits from one investment. 0 risk guaranteed. Principal withdrawal anytime. And the Financial Conduct Authority just issued an emergency fraud warning about them 3 months ago. This is peak algorithmic delusion. BG Wealth Sharing operates through something called DSJIX Exchange, which sounds legitimate until you discover the FCA explicitly warns against both for providing unauthorized financial services. They are literally on the government scam list, but still running ads promising guaranteed returns with minimum 300 Tether investments. The website reads like an MLM fever dream. 5-person teams get transaction volume dividends, referral bonuses for bringing friends. Professor Steven provides trading signals through Telegram accounts that regulators specifically identified as fraudulent. It's textbook Ponzi mechanics, wrapped in crypto jargon. Their pitch deck is weapons-grade manipulation. Small investment, short payback period, 0 risk. They guarantee your principal while promising unlimited income for hard-working people. One smartphone can change your life. This is financial snake oil marketed as economic empowerment. Here's what's absurd. They claim cooperation with governments for account protection while actively being warned against by actual government regulators. Behind the scenes, they created a Colorado shell company and registered as an exempt reporting advisor, which is straight up securities fraud. The trading signals component is particularly unhinged. Users receive buy-sell signals on Telegram, then trade on DSJX. They claim AI generates the signals. In reality, it's just interface manipulation, showing fake profits until withdrawal time. User complaints are identical across platforms. Easy deposits, impressive dashboard returns. Then, withdrawal issues. Support vanishes. Balances mysteriously decrease. Classic exit scam progression. It gets darker. Investigators found a romance scam pipeline behind it, building relationships on dating apps, gaining trust, then sliding victims into BG Wealth Sharing as an exclusive insider opportunity. The contrast is insane. Professional website design, slick FAQs, jargon about alpha and beta portfolio separation, but underneath it's just steal from new people to pay old people until it collapses. The FCA doesn't issue fraud alerts lightly. When they specifically name your platform and associated Telegram accounts, that's government confirmation you're running an illegal financial scheme. This isn't an investment opportunity. It's documented criminal activity. If this saved you from losing your life savings to Professor Stevens' trading wisdom, perfect. I investigate platforms that promise financial freedom while planning your financial funeral.
Wow, that was quite good. Now, I just stumbled across that video. 21,000 subscribers. How does he get so many? That's so cool. And 6,200 videos. And in here, you can see this individual promotes, well, not promotes, but he's obviously trying to save you guys from getting scammed. So I put the link in there. This is really good stuff, actually. Sometimes when I promote these type of YouTubers, I find that they are offering people information on how to recover their crypto, and I'm always a bit cautious. But in that video, I didn't hear anyone claiming that you were going to be able to recover your crypto, which is always a danger when listening to anyone that's talking about a scam. So I'm just going to read the guy's description.
Welcome to Savage Reviews, where we dissect products so you don't waste money on garbage. High voltage sign. Tired of sugar-coated reviews and 20-minute videos
platform
with 2 minutes
promising
of
lifelong-
insight? We cut through the BS fast. Whether it's a $5 app or $500 air purifier, our team researches everything and delivers savage truth in minutes. What we do: trophy honest reviews that celebrate winners and roast losers, cross swords, head-to-head battles where the best product wins. Non-binary detective, legit or scam. Investigations tick, is it worth it? Verdicts you can trust. Fire exposing overhyped products with receipts. Gemstone championing hidden gems everyone else missed. Our dedicated team of researchers and writers dissect products with surgical precision. When something's great, we celebrate it. When it's garbage, we roast it with style. No fluff, no affiliate bias. Just smart analysis with zero filter. Bullseye, real facts, real fast. Zero BS. Bell subscribe for savage truth delivered fast.
Well, that's pretty cool. Other things I'll show you, I love these ones. In Reddit, obviously I do a bit of research before I create a blog. I didn't do any research on this one, but it said BG Wealth Share Limited, an actual investment company or a scam. And you can come through here and read other people's comment. And this is the typical thing I hear. My girlfriend's grandma just informed me she was involved. From what I could make out, it's a pyramid scheme. But I'm not sure and was seeing if anyone had a clue. I know Facebook used to have a lot of these little schemes here and there, but actually partook in them. But I never actually partook in them. So here's somebody trying to figure it out, which is on Reddit. So do your research. This one here made me laugh. BG Wealth Sharing, please give me super hard evidence that this is a scam. Family members are convinced, and once they're convinced, they won't let go of hope. And because they think they're getting paid daily and they've been recruited by friends or they've been out for a nice meal and the professors pay for their meal, they are convinced that it's real and genuine. So I had to sort of laugh at this. When I first saw this comment, I thought, when some people sometimes tell me, oh, how do you know it's a scam? And I tell them, and they want rock solid evidence it's a scam. I normally flip that around and say, well, how about you give me rock solid evidence that it's a legitimate company? And I get crickets. So it makes me laugh a little bit when I get those ones. But somebody's posted that in there. So that was in Reddit. Somebody down here actually talks about the FCA warning in the UK. But do your research on these platforms. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to like me when I say don't shoot the messenger. But there's so much content out here at the moment about the scam, and it's pretty new. So it sort of makes me laugh. Other one, I don't even know. Is it Quota? Is it Quotia? Quora.com. I noticed they also mention I'm not investing with it. I'm not investing with it. It is completely unsafe. So there is a lot of really good advice out there by other individuals who have read and done research as well. This is another video that I found, which I thought was the typical one. And this one really pisses me off because I think there's 12 levels. This guy's skiting about being level 8. Now, I don't think you'd be able to get to level 8 without knowing that you are actually committing fraud by introducing people into it. And to be honest, I only listened to the first 15 seconds of this video and then thought, oh, I might play this while I'm doing my live. So here we go. Oh my God, there's no sound.
My name's Chris Raymer.
My name's Chris.
Hello, everyone. And for those of you who don't know me, my name's Chris Raymer, and it's such a pleasure to be here on my level 6 promotion. Thank you so much, Professor Beard. I'm so happy to accept.
The professor who's got in his head. Whoop, I've killed it now. I have, haven't I? Hold up, 1 minute, please, call it.
And it's been an honor to be here.
An honor.
At BG Well Sharing and DSJ Exchange.
It's got the t-shirt.
Part of the reason why I joined was because of my beautiful wife, Julie.
Oh.
And she was my upline, my direct upline. Thank you.
Oh, now anything you need an upline or a downline or a sideline or a hustle, then stay away from it. Oh, did it again. Hold up, 1 minute.
I wouldn't be able
We're
to
just
do this
talking about
without
his beautiful
Thank
wife.
you so much, honey. Thank you to all my
honey.
other uplines. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. And absolutely, thank you for all the staff at BG Well Sharing. We've just had such a great time. We're sharing. We're not trying to sell anything. And what we do is we just share with all the people we care about. And by doing that, you just build this amazing downline. And that's our secret to success. We just absolutely went out and shared it with everybody that we can find. And not everybody wanted to join, but there were many who did. And now we're here. We're having a great time.
Great time.
I started in June of 2025. And now what we're doing is we're just having the ability to just continue on. And hopefully soon we'll be accepting level 7.
7. Oh, here he goes. Level 7. So he's going to be...
It's going to be an amazing year. And again, I just wanted to thank everybody. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And absolutely thank you, Lord Jesus, Father God.
Lord Jesus got me there. Oh, look, every time you mute this, the sound goes off.
Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Bye, mate. So there's a professional scammer. If you know him, just give him a pat in the back from the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. Well, I used to be called that. So those people are really scumbags, in my opinion. He's level 6. He wants to be at level 12. That means he gets more of your money when he signs up people. He doesn't need to care whether it's true and genuine now. He's just got like Uncle Scrooge dollar signs, gold bars in his eyes. This video is on Facebook and it's labeled BG Wealth Sharing. Why does Facebook allow this type of advertisement to be on their platform? So I shut this one down. Now I don't have Facebook, so it's going to pop up a wee screen. And I found this other lady promoting it. And this looks like it's actually Vietnamese. And on the side, you've got BG Wealth Sharing, blah, 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 and different levels that you can join up. But here's a scam that's been flagged by 5 different countries as a scam, but still able to set up a Facebook page on Facebook promoting a scam. Now, I used to report these pages, and I've actually been banned by Facebook. And for today, for shits and giggles, after not being on Facebook for over a year, I decided that I'd set up a new account. And it still won't let me. It figures out who I am. They're so hell-bent at stopping someone like me being on Facebook reporting these scams. So these scammers decided to fight back and report my profile. They get more priority than I do. But here's a typical Facebook page that you might stumble across. I'm now suggesting maybe not to report them, but these are all AI images, and these are it's disgusting. So that's Facebook. Then, don't get me started, my favorite platform is LinkedIn. Here was a group with 253 followers, and they're telling us, now I've gone in here, and I've gone to their posts, and I can see that they are actually doing posts on LinkedIn about this scam. So I come along here and I report the post and I call it fraud or scam and I click next. Do you know what happens? That disappears. Then I go down to the next one and I go, I'm going to do the same again. And I can do this all day long. I'm getting good now. It's the second one in. Click that one. So I started doing that before this video and I was sitting here in a trance going, I must report all these posts. I must report all these posts. Why is LinkedIn allowing these companies to advertise on their platform when they have been flagged by a government agency? AI is very smart. I used AI to write a lot of the blog that we're reading right now. Tell me, please tell me why LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube are allowing these individuals to promote something that's been flagged by 5 different government agencies. I've got better things to do this here. And I know that I'm making no difference at all to anybody in the world by clicking these buttons. Why do people and why do organizations like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube have report functions that do absolutely nothing. What is the point? All of a sudden, you will find that my own LinkedIn account will get banned because I'm reporting these scams. What do I need to do to tell these organizations to stop running these scams? And you can see it's quite addictive. I feel like just doing one more because surely this company can't push this rubbish out to people. Oh my God. Here, oh no, we're down to here now. How many more have I got? I've got all those there to do. So every day somebody's out there promoting BG wealth management, and I've got better things to do. So that was just one group called BG Wealth Sharing Group. Shut that down, and I go to the next one, BG Wealth Sharing and DSJ Exchange. And once again, you can see once I get down to here, I was doing it before and I reported them all. So I'm going to finish this one off with you watching me. You know, I get so disheartened that these companies carry on doing this and seem to be getting away with it. But look, this is just two individuals that decided to set up, what do we call them? LinkedIn pages or groups, and then set up adverts to promote a fraudulent opportunity. Now, what really makes me sick is that my mailbox will now be full up with these reports from LinkedIn telling me, thank you for reporting this scam. We will look into it. But I can come back here tomorrow and guarantee they would have set up over a new group. And look, I've managed to get here. Isn't that cool? So I've got there and I've got rid of all these and I've reported that I've got better things to do with my time. So I wanted to show you some of those. So let's get back to the blog. Claims versus reality. Now we're going to get into some real serious stuff. Can you prove that they have lost money? Yes, I can prove that because I've got 64 people. This is a message coming in from somebody who have been doing this scam for the last several months, have now lost all their money. They are scammers. I met him actually. Did you actually meet the promoter or the professor? Has anyone met the professor? Which countries have you said was the scam? Well, you just carry on watching the blog and we'll go through it. So let's just get this paragraph read because it's a big chunky one.
On its active website, BG Wealth Sharing dramatically escalates its narrative. It presents itself as the world's largest hedge fund, a subsidiary of investing.com, a government-licensed global operation, and a project founded in 2018 by Professor Stephen Beard on behalf of major international institutions. It claims millions of users, partnerships with regulators, licenses across dozens of countries, guaranteed monthly returns of at least 60%, and a so-called zero-risk investment model powered by AI, blockchain, and advanced contract trading.
So it's an investment platform that does AI trading, but you have to manually cut and paste trades into an app 2 or 3 times a day. Otherwise, you won't get your money. All right. So in the chat room, we've got somebody here. Can you prove they have lost money or they are scammers? Can you prove that Stephen Beard is actually a real person? Can you prove that this is the world's largest hedge fund, as they say? Can you prove that they're actually doing trading on the blockchain? And when they do the trading, do you actually get to see it on the blockchain? And the answer to that, without you even sticking your head outside your turtle shell, is no. None of these claims withstand independent verification. Now, there's some companies that do what they call verdict audits. This company has not done any of those. Their platform, their exchange, is independent, which means it is literally like a game of Monopoly. And yes, you can transfer money out of it if you know how. It's very, very tricky, but the fees are incredible. And they're only doing that because they know mathematically, if you make it as hard as possible for people to get their money out, the numbers aren't going to be there. So the few that can get through the hoops to take their money out outweighs the bleed of the money that they are collecting at the moment. And it's all about burn time. It's like sending a rocket to space and figuring out exactly how much fuel is needed to get through orbit. They have got the system down to It's a well-oiled machine, and they've literally used New Zealand as a testing ground for this scam. Instead of evidence, the platform relies on overwhelming scale and authority language designed to discourage scrutiny. You can't ask those questions. In those Zoom meetings that you go into, they turn the microphones off, they turn the chat room off, they turn their cameras off. No one's allowed to turn on their anything. And also, you're only allowed to click a love heart or maybe a frown, but you can't type anything anywhere. So it's totally gaslighting. The more complex the story sounds, the more complex the grand story sounds, the harder it becomes for ordinary people to change it. When an opportunity claims to be everything at once, a hedge fund, an exchange, government partners, my ass, there's no government partners. You tell me one government that is partnering with BG Wealth Sharing. Give me one government that's put anywhere in any printed form that they are partnering with this organisation. Was it a poverty edge? I can't even read that. I'll have to get my computer to read that. 1 second, please, caller.
And poverty eradication
program. It is usually none of them. Right. Websites. The website Videos Zone reveals how belief is reinforced into practice. Members are shown attending group dinners, celebration, and meetups, encouraged to film themselves holding their phones, interacting with the professor, who is Mr. Beard, and posting proof of participation. These events are not identical. They are incentivized. Participants receive bonus credits in their accounts for their attendance. Visibility and recruitment, turning social interaction into reward mechanism. I can't even say that word. Mechanism. So now I may have got some of that a little bit wrong, but the principle's exactly the same. And it amazes me that people will often focus on what I don't get 100% right. But let's just say I give you a glass of water and 5% of it is cyanide. Would you drink it? So if I've got 80% of what I say correct, are you still going to drink the poison that they give you? Or are you going to focus on the 20% of hope? And that's what hope is all about. What this creates is not transparency, but behavioral conditioning. Social proof replaces the evidence. Participation replaces understanding. Rewards replace the questions. So they've got the system. Now remember these systems. Now I've been in conferences. I went to a conference in Australia called the Global Financial Crime Summit, and they showed us 6 or maybe 7 different human trafficking compounds with maybe 1,000 buildings, 3 stories high, and they were housing people who were working under duress. These are the organisations and the photos that you see, and they have all the cell phones lined up. These are human trafficking compounds. People have answered an advert about a job. Their flights have been paid for. They get to the destination, normally somewhere like in Thailand. They have their passports taken off them. They get transported to a human trafficking compound. They are told that they must work 16 hours a day. They must get a quota of sales in, or they will be beaten, buried alive, or in some cases, I've seen people actually committing suicide in these human trafficking compounds. I got 200 videos from an organisation that was submitting a document to the United Nations. I've still got access to these photos, and I looked through the first 30 images, videos, and I couldn't look any more. These people that are talking to you on your phones, the professor, they're not real. You have never seen the guy. Even if you do see somebody speaking, there's a guy called Jim Browning. He got an informant who went into one of these human trafficking compounds that was in Dubai, and they showed you that they had models who their job was to talk to people on the phones in the romance scams. Now, we've shown you just with that video we did, that Behind MOM, Oz, he was showing you that this particular scam has links to romance scams. Romance scams are there to build trust. Everyone is told to trust and believe. And that's what these platforms are all to do. They will keep at you. They will build a friendship with whoever introduced you into it. They will tell you what you want to hear. They will answer all those questions to build your trust. And then they will skin every piece of meat off the bone. That's why they call these scams pig butchering. They fatten you up. They might build a relationship with you for 2 or 3 months, and then they will take you to the slaughterhouse and they'll strip every bit of meat off your body. And it's just disgusting. People are not investing just money. They are investing identity. They are asking you to sign up with your KYC details, your passport, your driver's license. I did hear some shocking news the other day what they were doing with that information, but it's out of my brain at the moment. But when you give your identity away over the internet, are you kidding me? Do you really want China or Thailand or Myanmar to own your identity? Next thing you'll find somebody at the local bar called Danny de Heck, and you'll go, that doesn't look like Danny de Heck. Well, here's my passport. I got it renewed with the identity, my birth date, my social security number. Forget about it. Friendships and social standings with groups, the emotional buy-in makes it harder to step back and ask whether the platform is real. Because you've been coerced by people and it's herd mentality, it's very hard for you to question anything. If you do, you're a negative Nancy. You're a Karen, whatever you want to be. You can't ask those questions you need to ask. You can't scrutinize this because you're criticized. It's human. This is what they do to fool humans. Are you human? Strip away the videos, the jargon, the promises, and what remains is a familiar pattern. Extraordinary claims. We did have Rob in here earlier on. He always says extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. No independent proof of anything they say. It's their word against yours, but you're too intimidated to stand up to them. And a social system designed to keep people engaged long enough after common sense should have been intervened. A pattern, not an isolation opportunity. A pattern, not an, am I saying that right?
A pattern, not an isolated opportunity.
Yes, this isn't an opportunity that no one in the world has found out about and you've just discovered it. One of the most effective ways schemes like BG Wealth Sharing protects themselves is by fragmenting the story. Different websites, different domain names, different explanations depending on who you talk to. Regulators do not look at fragments, they look at patterns. Across multiple jurisdictions, authorities have independently linked BG Wealth Sharing and DSJ Exchange, otherwise known as DSJEX, which used to be called UICEX, isn't that funny? And the rotating list of domain names. Now, we're going to show you a couple of these. This isn't speculation from bloggers or critics like me. It's written directly into government warnings. What matters? Because that matters because it removes the most common defense remote promoters rely on. That warning isn't about us. Now, literally, people that I talk to in my group, which I might just for a laugh, see if I can plug my phone in and do a group call because it might be quite good if people. So I can actually literally do a group call to the group that have invested in this in the past. And I'll see if I can actually do a group call. Start a voice chat. So there we go. So I'm now telling everyone in the group, if people come in here, it might be a bit noisy. I might have to hang up. But anyway, so that warning isn't about us because people who were told about what we called CR Group LLC were told that that warning wasn't about us, and the FMA don't like people making passive incomes. That's what they literally thought. The FMAs were against them, not there to protect them, which was absolutely amazing. When multiple government agencies name the same alias, the same infrastructure, and the same behaviours, convenience stops. I can't read that word.
Coincidence stops being a reasonable
Explanation. In the UK, so the person in the chat room, can you prove any of this? Well, yes, I can prove any of this because, first of all, we're looking at the UK, an early warning that did not stop promotion. One of the earliest formal warnings came from the UK Financial Conduct Authority, a government department that is literally set up to defend their there are people from getting scammed. In May 2025, the FCA warned the public to avoid the BG wealth sharing. So let's go here. So here is the FCA UK warning about BG wealth sharing. So that alone, I'm not going to sit here and read this, but that alone is enough for you guys to stop, back up the bus and heed that warning. Why would a government agency set up to help people from getting scammed publish such a thing if it wasn't a scam? How much more evidence do you want? Stating that the firm may be providing or promoting financial services without authorization and was not authorized to operate in the UK, even though they have got on their website certificates stating that they are registered businesses in the UK. The FCA went further than a generic alert. It listed associated websites, email addresses, and Telegram accounts and explained what this meant in practical terms. No access to financial ombudsman, no compensation scheme protection, and little chance of recovery if things went wrong. So there's no help if it went wrong. You're driving down the road and your car's not insured, so to speak. This warning did not appear after collapse. It exists while the promotion and recruitment is still active. So this is great. Real-time Ponzi scheme and scam prevention. This is what we love to hear. That's an important distinction. In Australia, the people over the ditch from where I live, a different regulator, the same conclusion. In Australia, the Australian Securities and Investment Commission, ASIC, which I hope this anyway, just must to say, placed BG Wealth Sharing Investment Group linked to, and they gave you this website address here. And if you go to this website address here now, guess what? Oop, it doesn't work because they're shutting down these websites as fast as they can. On its investor alert in January the 24th, I think that was, you can see that they've actually put up a warning here. So do you need more warnings? Well, obviously some people do. ASIC stated plainly that the entity was unlicensed, unauthorized, and listed GSJ Exchange as an alias. Directly trying, what's it saying? Directly trying the two other. Well, I think it said tying, is it?
Directly tying the two together.
Right. So it's basically saying the exchange and BG Wealth Management are one and the same. This shows something important. Regulators weren't just reacting to a brand name. They were tracing how people were being brought in, including the promotional infrastructure being used. Different country, different legal system, same outcome. Canada, you may have heard of them. Now, Canada are really strict on everything.
Formal investor alerts and domain tracking.
Right. In Canada, the Alberta Security Commission, otherwise known as ASC, issued an investor alert, which you can see here in a second. Boom, look at that. And down here it says BG Wealth Sharing Limited and DSJ Exchange. And you can read the press release, which goes off to another one. And you can see the investment caution list and why it's been listed. And you can go in there and read to your heart's content, but I think you've got the idea. So we've got, in January the 26th, published nationally throughout Canada security administrators. The alert explicitly named DJS Exchange as another operating name and document most recent websites associated with the scheme. So it documented most websites that were associated with the scheme. Now remember the one that we looked at before, which was, I think, tim22.com. So that's just a random domain that will be bringing up that scam. So here's another random domain, which is no longer, it's been taken offline. And this random domain, which will be coming from China, no doubt, or maybe Myanmar. This is a throwaway domain name, throwaway website that will be put back online if it ever loads. But that's the one we went to earlier on. So they use that one as an example. And also the exchange, which I do believe this one might be still going. Nope, suspected publishing scam. So look, other entities that their job is to protect the public have already put a warning on this domain name telling you to stay away from it. Are you going to ignore these warnings? Are you still going to be on the fence going, oh my goodness, what is actually happening? Okay, so we've got somebody here in the chat room, Alpha Amiga Energy, I think. Whoa, Danny, had to save someone from this and you didn't know it possibly pays 1 to 3% a day. Laugh it out. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy, bro. So anyway, so we've got that. And also Canada also placed BG Wealth Sharing on its investor caution list, which I showed you already, warning that the company is not registered to trade or advise on securities, which is money, if you don't know what that means, and that dealing with unregistered firms means there is no investor protection. You're on your own. That wasn't about opinion. It was about registration or the lack of it. Now, Tonga, is that right? Now, I feel sorry for people in Tonga.
Tonga, when the central bank calls it a scam.
Oh, look, it's terrible. Now, Tonga, I feel sorry for because I've seen a lot of people taking advantage from because they're very family orientated. They are lovely people and they trust people. So here we've got people in Tonga telling their we call them whānau in New Zealand, their family, that this is a good thing. And if you're really concerned about your future, you want to be involved in this. But the reality is they're going to lose the lot. So you need to protect your family, not help your family invest, especially if you're not a regulated financial advisor. Perhaps the clearest language ever come from the national, the clearest language came from the National Reserve Bank of Tonga. In December 2025, the central bank issued a public press release warning about the cryptocurrency investment scam. No doubt people were trying to transfer their loot into the platform, and the bank put out the warning because it could see the dangers. Look, this doesn't even load anymore now. So this was the website. Right, operating under the name BG Wealth Sharing, DSJ EX is described fake trading platforms, fabricated profits, blocked withdrawals, and demands for additional fees when you want to take your money out before the funds could supposedly be released. Critically, the warning stated that the scheme was targeting Tonga, what's that word?
Tongan diaspora.
Diaspora. Never heard of that word before. That's a new word for Danny. Including people living in New Zealand and Australia, primarily through social media. This was not framed as a risky investment. It was described as a fraud. Now, New Zealand. Now, I've had a real battle with the FMA here in New Zealand because I've currently got a court case with an individual that is trying to take me to court because I have named and shamed him for promoting this Ponzi scheme in New Zealand. Now, they were promoting this Ponzi scheme under a name called signalraiders.com. My Avengers, my Terminator, who takes down websites for us, took down the website. Because I took down the website, the FMA said it wouldn't be necessary for them to include their this domain name on their list of domain names because we've already taken it off the planet and they haven't had a chance to review my work. But this is the warning from the New Zealand FMA. This is a marathon. This is the biggest warning I've ever seen, how the scam works and everything. This is a big warning for the FMA. Normally we get a post-it note. But look at this, BG Wealth Sharing Group. This originally started off as CR Group LLC, and it's rebranded itself multiple times. They've even recalled the exchange the Ruby Exchange. So this other exchange that they're talking about, the whatever exchange, they have now rebranded this to a different exchange. And this is what they do. They rebrand the exchange. They carry this scam going as long as they can. So this is currently going, and you would think this is great, and this is where my money is, but this is not the same name it was 2 months ago. Well, actually, it ended on the 25th of December. They took down the exchange and then they rebranded it. Now it's called the Ruby Exchange. But if you looked here, you can see I'm flicking through this pretty fast. These are all the different domain names that this scam had in New Zealand and Australia. This scam was prototyped here in New Zealand, and now it's called rebranded, and it's called BG Wealth Sharing. And I'm still scrolling to the bottom. These are all the different domains. I think it was ridiculous. It was something like 300 or 400 different domain names they have used. So that means one day you're told to go to this domain name to do your trading and log in. And the next day, that domain name gets taken offline by authorities. And then you're off again on a new domain name and you think this isn't a Ponzi scheme or a scam. In New Zealand, the Financial Markets Authority, the FMA, which I love dearly, have spent years warning about WhatsApp and Telegram-based investment scams. that rely on mentors, trading signals, recruitment, and small withdrawals to build trust. Yes, it was the TXEX warning updated recently as January the 26th. The FMA explicitly lists BG Wealth Sharing Group among the fraudulent investment platforms. The behavior described by the FMA should sound familiar to anyone watching BG Wealth Sharing unfold. Private chat groups. For God's sake, if it was legit, why does it have to be held in a WhatsApp, Telegram, or a bond chat group? Pressure to recruit friends and family, early withdrawals to convince, escalating deposits, sudden fees when withdrawals are requested. This is also where the link back to CR Group LLC, otherwise known as UX, becomes impossible to ignore. The mechanisms are the same, even if the branding is different. Now, I am going to show you something pretty wicked that you wouldn't normally see. As I said, I've been busting this scam for quite a few months, trying to create awareness, and I'm going to put you on a different screen. On the screen over here, this is what I call my database, and I currently have got about 800 people who invest Ponzi schemes and scams. This is not public. However, we have actually got the BG Wealth. So the CR Group scam, we actually have videos. Now in here, we've got videos of, now you won't believe this because I've played this video before and people don't believe it's true and genuine. What they do is you are in a group at the moment and you have to go to that group and you have to cut and paste those signals that you get from the professor. They're using a chat room, a new app now called Bond Chat, which is a Chinese-driven app. Now, when I was first covering this scam, they were using, not they, us, not part of the scam. They were using WhatsApp. Now, when you go to WhatsApp, you open this, and this video here, look what happens. Now, this is people that were in these groups, and this is a video which we believe were given from the people that are running the scam. They can literally click on a person's name, turn on their microphone and their camera and listen to them. That's probably the worst one I could have done. So listen to this. Okay, so we're just going to open up this.
Doesn't believe me.
See?
Who doesn't believe me?
Oh my goodness, it's getting pretty But what I'm doing here is I'm showing you these are videos where they're actually spying on people. They can click a button, click on your username, turn on your microphone and turn on your camera and listen to you without your knowledge. Now, people say that's not possible on WhatsApp. Well, what are they doing here? Have a look at this one. Here we go. This guy. Now, he doesn't look like he's on a video call. Somebody's out for a walk. Right. So, absolutely disgusting. The other thing, while I'm on the screen, this is a meeting which I'm waiting for. If it comes live, we'll go live with it. But this is the official BG Wealth Sharing Zoom meeting. And obviously there's a video playing. We can't play it because it's got music in the background. They know how to see. But in the meantime, when they start this here, they talk about how you can make a lot of money. So this is like an advert. It says I won't read it, but you can see all these people holding up BG Wealth Sharing. And that's seriously how these people get traction. So don't fall for the stuff, ladies and gentlemen. This is another day in the office for Danny. All right, so Zoom, while we're looking at Zoom there, so we're going to get into some real serious stuff here. I'm going after Zoom. I'm going after YouTube. I'm going after LinkedIn. I'm going after Facebook, and I'm going after Instagram. They are people that facilitate these scams. They are the people that provide the getaway vehicles for the scammers, how BG wealth sharing is promoted, and why Zoom is failing to enforce its own rules. Yes, a basic search on BG wealth sharing across Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube, as I showed you earlier on, reveals hundreds of posts directing people into Zoom meetings. There, they are told they can learn more about the opportunity. This is the recruitment funnel in plain sight. Social media creates curiosity and credibility, and Zoom becomes the room where they pitch. The pitch is delivered at scale. These calls regularly run hundreds of attendees, and often they max out at the 1,000 person limit. They follow the same playbook. Cameras are usually off, chat is disabled or tightly restricted, participants are muted, questions are reframed as negativity, doubt is gaslit into silence, and the message is repeated: recruit friends and family, scale up, and don't listen to outsiders. In fact, they don't want you to talk to people. They tell you to move on as soon as you meet somebody's negative, go to the next person. Here is the critical point that cannot be ignored. Zoom's old acceptable guidelines policies prohibits the use of platforms. Now, that's something I didn't do in this blog, and I kind of want to do it. So I'm going to do that. What we're going to do is we're just going to jump in here. We're going to go to deheck.com, which is my website. We're going to go down to the blog that we're doing right now. We're going to open that up. Then we're going to go to Contact Us, and we're going to go to Zoom Patrol. When we go to Zoom Patrol, you'll see me dressed up lovely in a policeman outfit. And you come down here a little bit, we click on Acceptable User Guidelines. And that's the link where I can send people and they can actually read for themselves that unauthorized multi-level marketing businesses are not allowed to use Zoom. So when we go back to here, I'm now going to edit this post. I'm going to find the Zoom area, and we're going to come down here. And where are we up to on this? Before the branding, Zoom, and when we talk about acceptable, right, acceptable use guideline. There it is. Just to be happy I can do this, and I'll do it now, and I'll make it open in a new window, update. And I come down here and I update this blog. So why I did that, it's important because people sometimes don't believe me. I spend ages talking to people. So now I can hit refresh on this page and there will be a lovely link that will pop up, and now we can click on here. And if you want to find the link to this very blog, you can actually go into the description of the video you're watching right now and you'll find the link to the blog, and you can go read the acceptable use of guidelines. So why do they put these guidelines in here telling people that they explicitly prohibit the use of its platform to promote unauthorized multi-level marketing businesses? BG Wealth sharing fits that description. It's recruitment-driven, regulated, warned, and pitched as an income opportunity tied to deposits. Zoom does not need new laws to act. Zoom already has the rules in its own acceptable user guidelines. These meetings continue to operate. Accounts stay active. We used to report them and they used to get shut down. Now they've banned me on Zoom. Subscriptions stay paid. Yes, is it about the money? And when people challenge the pitch outside the call, including those who gate crash and raise government warnings, they are muted or removed while the presentation rolls on. Now, if you don't know why Zoom isn't getting prosecuted for this, it's because, would you believe, there's a section called 230. Zoom does not, so section 230 does not force Zoom not to allow this. It simply limits Zoom's ability as a publisher of user content. It does not excuse Zoom from enforcing its own policies. If Zoom won't enforce its own guidelines against meetings used to recruit and financially groom people into a, I can't read this very well. I might just read the next part here.
Regulator warned scheme. then it is not neutral, it is enabling.
Yeah, so what I'm getting at here, I'll just say it in my own words rather than trying to read this hogwash here. But there is a section in the US law that says 230 section basically says that Zoom cannot be prosecuted for what people do on its platform. Same with YouTube. So there's a law, and that was created, would you believe, back in 1996. So that's why. But however, that shouldn't matter because Zoom has their own acceptable user guidelines, and in their own acceptable user guidelines, they tell people that you're prohibited from promoting multi-level marketing. So it's just a contradiction. And you've got to ask the question, why does LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, what was the other one, YouTube and Zoom all allow this to go on? Why don't they clean up their acts and stop people from losing their money? Is this freedom of speech? The trading story that replaces common sense. Now, common sense is a big part of this. The language is always impressive. Advanced trading signals, AI. I can't even read the word here. What's this one?
Proprietary systems.
Proprietary. I can't say it. It sounds complex enough that people stop asking obvious questions. Now, because you don't understand something, if a policeman knocked on your window and said to you, would you stop and ask him what he said? Or would you just go, that's okay, I'll take the ticket? Or you'd say, could you please slow down and speak English so I can understand it? Because if you don't understand it, you can't carry on. But when you look at what participants are actually doing, people are told they're part of a sophisticated AI-driven trading system. Really? Yet their daily role is to log in and cut and paste text or click buttons multiple times a day to qualify for rewards. How ridiculous is that? You're going like high tech and now you're going like caveman stuff. Or get your stuff on top on this board. This alone should stop anyone in their tracks. Work it out, guys. You're being told that they've got the state-of-the-art everything, but you have to log in 3 times a day and cut and paste text and click send. It's ridiculous. Real trading systems execute orders in milliseconds. When, what's that? Oh, you can't remember words.
Collocated.
Collocated. Still can't read the word. Next to exchange servers to eliminate latency. They do not wait for thousands of people to wake up, log in, and manually perform actions on cue. Human involvement is removed precisely because it's slowing things down and induces error. So the reason why people couldn't do this in the first place was because they needed clever AI bots to act swiftly. Isn't this ridiculous? And now all of a sudden they need human intervention. So ask yourself the simple question of all. Why would a system advance enough to generate consistent profits every day without fail, rely on something so manual? Come on, work that out. The answer is uncomfortable, but it's obvious. The action isn't there because the system needs it. It's there to keep people busy, compliant? Compliant and emotionally invested. Because you're doing something, you think you deserve the money you're getting. It's ridiculous. A daily routine that creates the illusion of participation and earning rather than waiting. The technical claims grow more sophisticated while the behavior becomes more primitive. Is it right?
Primitive.
Complexity turns into camouflage. Confusion is mistaken for intelligence. And common sense quickly exits the room. That isn't trading, it is conditioning. The moment, on to the next section. I've got a big blog here because I really want to drive the point home. I've already done a blog on this, remember. It wasn't enough. My biggest paid video of the year, well, last year, was actually one I did on BG wealth sharing, would you believe? Because so many people are searching. So I've decided to do another video, not for the money, but I wouldn't mind some donations about now. But I'm doing it simply because I think it's important for people to listen to all sides of the arguments. If I've got this wrong, and I know I haven't, I'd put my life on it. You guys put comments in here, but don't ask me stupid comments. If you want me to prove something, then you've got to prove it back at me. If you believe this is a real, genuine opportunity, who is the professor? Where is the scams officers? Where is this opportunities officers? Is it prove to me on the blockchain that this is real trading? The app that they're using, prove to me it's connected to a real blockchain. Just because you can get your money off it onto another blockchain doesn't mean it's real. That can be done with smokes and mirrors. You could send me money to my bank account today, and I could transfer it to a Binance crypto wallet address straight away with some simple software. But why can't we see these trades that they're claiming are happening? Remember, crypto, I think it was about 6 weeks ago now, lost $380 billion in one day, the biggest crash ever. This platform guarantees no losses, and it guarantees the same growth of everything. What are they trading? That means that they never lose money. They are trading, it's a Ponzi scheme. They are using new investor money to pay old investors. So the moment questions start, people disappear. There is always a turning point. It usually begins with someone reasonable asks something about registration. Someone mentions government warnings. Someone wants to clarify about withdrawals. That's when the tone changes. The questions aren't answered. They are reframed. The person asking is told they're negative. They don't get it. Or that they are spreading fear. You're going to lose your money. I'm the fearmonger. I'm the dream stealer, they often call me. In many cases, they are quietly muted, removed from groups, or cut off entirely. Now, cut off entirely, everybody that was in the other one, CR Group LLC, otherwise known as UICEX, which is the same company, same scam, 100%, all got cut off. They couldn't get back into the group. They couldn't get their trades. They couldn't get the code they needed to take their money off the platform. It was gone burger. And what are you going to do about it? It's just crazy. This reaction matters. Legitimate businesses don't fear scrutiny. They document it, explain it, and withstand it. Schemes can't, because once questioned, once questions are allowed to linger, the story unravels. Yes, it does. Right, next section. Living on a fake exchange feels like winning until it doesn't. We all trust our screens, wouldn't you agree? We read news on our phones, we manage money on apps, and we watch entire world unfold on our tablets and on our TVs. So when an exchange looks real and we can log in, see balances, move numbers around, it's easy to assume it is real. That's the trap. Just because it's shiny new phone that you've just gone and can log into a platform and you think it's real, do not be fooled. But you are, aren't you? Many people start small. I had a lady the other day who started small with $100 investment. She finished up investing $24,000 into an opportunity that was every day giving her money on her fake screen. She lost $24,000 and more. She refinanced her car. She took all the money out of her bank account. She even borrowed friends' money. They kept telling her that she needed to pay to get a license, so she had the right to take out her money. Once she realized she'd been scammed, they put $200,000 into her account. So now she had $255,000 that she could see in the app. She only withdrawed $50. That was the only money she ever got. She did the $50 withdrawal and she thought, I'm good to go. So she trusted the platform and she was strung along. She was so grateful that I managed to help her. We got absolutely none of her money back. She lost a lot. Are you going to do the same? Wow. Many people start small. Yes, it can be a simple little investment. But if I was you, I would invest $300, $400, $500 so you get a good start. No point doing small. In the video that is in this blog, they actually tell you that you don't need to recruit. But the benefits, if you do recruit, are so much better. So they've even overcome that answer that they have from people. People say, oh, is this a recruitment? They'll go, oh, no, you don't need to recruit. But you don't get money if you don't recruit. Why wouldn't you want to recruit? You want to help your friends and family out, don't you? Hello, Susie. Nice to see you here. Lovely to see you here. Nice to see Rob and Susie in the same room. I was going to say you guys get a room. Love your work, Danny. God bless what you're doing. Oh, thank you so much. That's really, really nice. So Susie's posting in the chat room a whole lot of links, and if you're clever enough, you could actually screenshot my screen and go there and click on if you're watching the rerun. But lovely to see you both here. Many people start small, but they see numbers growing. They might even manage a small withdrawal. Just like I said, the lady withdrew $50 and then she put in $24,000. Gone. Confidence grows. That's what they want you to do. It's all about trust. The platform feels legitimate. Oh, I love it. I just found a way to make money. No one else is doing it. Only I know about it. I'll tell friends. They increase their deposits. It happens every time. They know how the brain works. It's all psychology. Give it up. At that point, the interface becomes the reality. Progress feels like success. Activity feels like control. But just because something exists on a screen doesn't make it real. When someone steps back and looks technically at what's happening, the lack of real market connection, unverifiable trades, the controlled withdrawals, it becomes obvious. The exchange itself is bogus. It's just a game board like Monopoly. Everyone feels excited about everything feels exciting and convincing while you're playing. Now, I was pretty good at Monopoly, I must say. I used to do away with the banker and put everything in free parking in the middle, and we used to play the game like that. It was all good until the banker ran out of money. Anyway, you can buy, sell, move around, even buy a house. Was it Mayfair? Park Avenue? That was to be the best one, wasn't it? Around, even win. But the moment you try to leave the table and cash out, the illusion collapses. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen anyone walking down the street and they just collapse. It's not a good thing. Collapse is a pretty vicious word, really, isn't it? By the time withdrawals are blocked or declined, people aren't just financially invested, they are emotionally committed to believing the game was real. Now, I don't know if I can drive this point home, but in New Zealand, when they were doing phase 1 of the scam, everybody was told on the 25th of December that they needed to deposit 20% into their app so that they would be able to actually withdraw their money. That's what they were told. 20% of whatever they had on their balance, they had to work it all out and deposit it on top of what they already had deposited so they could withdraw their money. Now, people said, we're not doing that, and they lost their accounts. 64 people, which I've got in a room now, have given me their phone numbers, and they are telling me that they have lost everything. One guy, $8,000. He said that's what he put into it. He put money on his mortgage, put it into the platform, lost the whole lot. Are you going to do the same here? This is mathematical. Some people win, some people lose. The people that are winning are the people that are promoting it. Don't do it, guys. Pause before the next decision. This article is not for people who have already lost everything. It's for those people still telling themselves, I'll stop after the next payout. Now, literally, when I first exposed this scam, people said, thank you for letting me know. I'll just get my money back and then I will stop. And those same people that were telling me that had recruited 30 or 40 people. And I exposed every single one of them. If I catch you guys promoting it, I will name and shame you. And your name will be on the internet for the rest of your life. I've had people try and get courts to remove the content that I have produced because I name and shame individuals. They were unsuccessful. If you are going to, Crypto G, I can see you in there. I'm on a rant.
Hey.
There you go, mate. You're live on the internet. Just to tell you. Oh, good man. Crypto G is one of our best scrutineers when it comes to looking at wallets. And he's in the UK. You look at wallets all day long, don't you?
He's selling me. You're selling me.
I know you've even tried to teach me how to use crypto, and I still don't know how to get my money out of it. That's the funny thing. I think I've got money in crypto still. You would know.
You have.
Yeah. Oh, it's a bit of a crack up. Oh, well. Anyway, I'm nearly finished my blog. So it says, for those avoiding regular websites because they don't want the answer. It doesn't make any sense now. I might have to read this whole paragraph. Nothing unusual here, but let's have a go.
It's for those still telling themselves they'll stop after the next payout. For those avoiding regulator websites because they don't want the answer. For those trusting noise, screenshots, and friends over evidence.
Yeah, and this is really interesting because I literally had people telling me that the FMA warnings were put out there because the FMA didn't want people to have financial freedom. And that's literally what one lady told me. She was a really lovely lady. She was retired. She was 65 years of age. She had recruited nearly 40 people. I think it was 41 people, actually, rings a bell, into the opportunity. And it was all her friends and family. And she said she didn't care about her money, but she cared about everyone that lost money because she was trying to help them get ahead. And these people had now put money on their credit cards, invested in the scam, and lost the lot. And she felt guilty, which is pretty hard case. So they were avoiding the truth. They're not listening to people like us.
So she should.
She should, I reckon. And she's been very helpful to us. And I haven't actually named and shamed her, but I have actually literally got people who were in companies. Like there was a company called Milton Group, 7,000 employees around the world. They had a transport person who had authority, and they literally recruited other people into it and actually made fun of them if they didn't sign up. And he was showing screenshots to people how he was making $15,000 a month from promoting the scam and encouraging them to do the same so that they would benefit the same as him. But in the meantime, he was taking commissions, climbing up the ranks. And as we showed you earlier on, I think there was 12 different levels because this is what they call a pyramid. Governments have warned people. So at this point, the warnings are not subtle. Governments have warned people. Central banks have warned people. Financial regulators have warned people. The information is public, dated, and verifiable. I've just shown you in this very blog that we're looking at right here, which you can find in the description of the video you're watching, all the links to all the different countries, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Tonga, and the UK have all put out warnings about this scam. This one's going like wildfire, and they use New Zealand as the testing ground. If someone continues after this point, it won't be because no one told them. It will be because they chose to believe they were cleverer than the scammer, while being cheered on by people who jump into Ponzi scams, one Ponzi to the next, fully aware of how these games end. This is the moment to stop and listen to the noise. This is the moment to stop listening to the noise. That does not seem to go right in my brain.
This is the moment to stop listening to the noise.
Right. This is the moment to stop listening to the noise. It's like, if you find yourself repeatedly drawn to these schemes like this, that's not bad luck. It's a signal to step back and get professional help. Are you a gambler? I had somebody literally on the phone to me the other day stating that they just keep falling for these scams. And I feel like slapping the person, but there's things about the law where you can't hit people. But sometimes you feel like strangling these people. There's laws about that as well. But if you've got a problem, go join a running club, go join a craft club, go do something else and get off these investment scams. You've got to wake up. Whether that's financial advice, counseling, or simply removing yourself from the environment that keeps pulling you in. Otherwise, you're already known how the story ends. You're not an investor. You're the mouse. The mouse returns to the cheese, and the trap doesn't care how smart you think you are. And hope is always loud right before it goes quiet. So this was a noisy one.
Cheese is moldy.
The cheese is moldy. That's not even good cheese. It's not like, what's that, like camembert? Is that moldy? Well, green cheese. Is it blue cheese? No, blue cheese. It's my favorite cheese.
Stilton.
Oh, yeah. Real cheese man. So interesting enough, we've got Crypto G on here while we're here, which is nice. I've finished reading my blog. Hopefully, have you got any, you've been following this opportunity as well, haven't you? Through the Avengers?
Yeah, we've got a couple of wallets.
Yep.
For deposits, but we're still looking for a wallet from the payout side so that we can validate that part, that end of the asset flow.
So I've just got a join link there if anyone else wants to join us. But what I'm think that people might struggle with is this BG Wealth Sharing obviously has their own exchange, and this exchange allows people to, so they've got this exchange that's called DSJ Exchange, and I assume people can download that app, and then they can theoretically think they're doing the trading on that app, and they think that's where the money is coming from, that they're getting paid. But that whole app is like independent and like a game of Monopoly. That be fair?
Indeed. Exactly right. That.
Yeah. So it's basically literally like a game of Monopoly. Just imagine you're at a stadium and somebody walks out to the middle of the green and puts up a table, and massive table, massive game of Monopoly, and then keeps inviting people from the grandstand. Now, the grandstand represents social media, and they're using social media to promote this, and they're getting you to come onto the field, be part of the game, and they're getting you to play that game, and you love the game, but the money's fake. The things they're getting you to do. Shake the dice, Danny, and you're shaking the dice, and you think, because I'm shaking the dice 3 times a day, I'm actually playing the game. And the community is brilliant. And then all of a sudden it starts raining, and the rain is the governments. The governments are bringing the rain and they're ruining the game. And the governments are saying,
Don't forget about the free entry as well.
oh,
They offer free entry, don't they? Free place at the chair at the table.
oh, you get free entry if you refer somebody into it, can you?
Ooh, yeah, like it.
Oh, I like that. So you're in there, it's raining, and you're playing the game and you don't want it to stop. Or you're trying to ignore the rain and you've got glasses on like me and you've got spitters of water all over it and you can't see what you're doing, but you just have to stay there because you're too invested. You know, we had a young fella and he took out $2,500 out of his Sharesies account and put it all into CR Group LLC, which is the same company. And then he had it in there for about 2.5 weeks. And he was told by his upline that he should leave his money in there for 2 months because he would double his money. And we said, you're going to lose all your money in 2 months. So we had a clever lady. He gave us complete trust, and we can't do this for everybody or anybody. We probably only get away with it once. And we managed to trade his money here, move his money here, move his money there, take a 30% hit over here. And we managed to get all his money out and extra $150. And then he was so grateful. He was only 20, 21 years of age. Now, the person that referred him into it was a family friend. His father suggested not to talk to us anymore because he was embarrassed because his father was invested as well. Now, the guy that recruited him into it used to work for the government in New Zealand. And I can't pronounce his name correctly because when I got the lawyer's letter, it claimed that I was a racist person because I couldn't pronounce his name properly. That's what they said in the lawyer's letter. So I'm going to have a field day. Anyway, long story short, we managed to get the young fella's money out. On the 25th of December, everybody that was involved with the scam lost all their money. So we saved that young fella's money, and everyone else that called us a naysayer or a negative Nancy or a Karen all lost their money. And the young fella said, I'm so grateful, but I can't talk to you because my dad told me not to talk to you guys. But anyway, we've got all the screenshots, all the proof, and we'll be using that in the not too distant future. I don't know. What else can I tell them? What else can I tell them, Crypto G?
Yeah, what else can you tell them? I don't know, Admiral.
Why do people fall victim to this sort of stuff? And the people...
Desperation, isn't it?
It has to be, eh?
Hard out there.
Well, it is. Is there other ways to make money?
Well, yeah.
Should we tell them? Go get a job. Go get a job. Work at McDonald's.
Yeah, but not by next week. That's the thing, isn't it? Or next month. The promises are within 6 months they can give up their job.
If you have been introduced about BG wealth sharing by a friend or a family member, or if you've been enticed to go out for a lovely meal, and then they tell you that the professor is picking up the tab, you are being introduced to a scam. They will encourage you to invest a little amount at the start, and then they will pressure you to invest the same amount of money that they did. And we don't want that to happen to you. So hopefully you've enjoyed that video, and we'll see you in the next video.